On February 22, 2026, Mexican federal forces closed in on one of the most hunted men in the world. Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, known globally as El Mencho, was killed during a military operation according to federal sources and international media reports. Within hours, the country felt the shockwave. As news of his death spread, the Jalisco New Generation Cartel reacted with force. Roads were blocked, vehicles were set ablaze. Armed attacks erupted across multiple states, particularly in Jalisco, Guanajuato, Michoacán, and Nayarit. The message was clear. The organization was wounded but not broken. For years, El Mencho stood at the top of one of the most violent criminal structures in Latin America. Under his command, the CJNG transformed from a regional faction into a transnational empire, challenging even the dominance of the Sinaloa cartel. Washington placed a $15 million reward on his head, one of the highest ever offered for an active trafficker. His death represents one of the most significant blows to organized crime in Mexico in recent memory. But to understand the magnitude of that moment, we have to go back to where his story began. Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes was born in 1966 in Aguililla, Michoacán, into a modest farming family. As a young man, he crossed into the United States illegally. There, he entered the world of drug distribution. In the early 1990s, he was arrested on trafficking charges and later deported to Mexico. That deportation did not end his criminal career. It accelerated it. Back in Mexico, Oseguera joined local trafficking groups and rose through the ranks of the Mencho cartel. When that organization fragmented, he did not fade with it. In 2009, he founded what would become the CJNG. What began as a regional force in western Mexico rapidly expanded. Under his leadership, the cartel built international trafficking routes for cocaine, methamphetamine, heroin, and fentanyl, primarily targeting the United States. Within a few years, CJNG had a presence across much of Mexico and connections abroad. CJNG distinguished itself through its firepower and tactics. It embraced military-style organization. It deployed heavy weaponry. It used drones and advanced communications. This was not the image of a traditional smuggling ring. It was a paramilitary criminal enterprise capable of confronting state forces directly. Meanwhile, El Mencho remained elusive. Unlike other cartel figures who cultivated public myth through interviews or visible displays of wealth, he stayed hidden. Few recent photographs existed. Audio recordings were rare. His invisibility enhanced his legend. Long before February 2026, whispers circulated that El Mencho might already be dead. Reports of deteriorating health surfaced as early as 2019. There were claims of chronic kidney problems. Some speculated he was unable to travel freely. One development fueled these suspicions. In a mountainous community within Villa Purificación, authorities discovered the construction of a private medical facility in an area known for strong CJNG influence. Local stories suggested it was built specifically to treat the cartel leader. Nothing was officially confirmed. But the silence surrounding his health only intensified speculation. In early 2025, rumors surged again. Journalistic sources cited information allegedly linked to U.S. investigators suggesting he had already died, yet Mexican officials publicly denied those claims. Years earlier, former President Andrés Manuel López Obrador had rejected similar reports, stating there was no verified evidence of his death or capture. The uncertainty persisted. Was the silence a strategy? Was it misinformation? Or was it proof that the most wanted man in Mexico was still alive and carefully protected? Occasional public episodes reignited debate. In Calcaman, Michoacán, a video surfaced showing children thanking El Mencho for donated gifts during a local celebration. In Tonaya, Jalisco, a musical event reportedly marked his birthday, where performers publicly referenced him during the festivities. Supporters interpreted these moments as proof of life. Skeptics saw them as propaganda designed to project strength. U.S. officials, including representatives from the DEA, suggested it was highly probable that El Mencho was alive during those years of speculation. Some analysts proposed that rumors of his death were deliberately spread by his own network. The logic was simple. If authorities believed he was gone, operational pressure might ease. Another theory suggested intelligence agencies allowed rumors to circulate to provoke internal cartel movements, exposing lieutenants or succession plans. In the world of organized crime, information is a weapon. Then came February 22, 2026. In Tapalpa, a historic stronghold for CJNG, federal forces launched an operation that ended in a fatal confrontation. Details remain limited, but the result was definitive. El Mencho was killed during the clash. He had avoided capture for years. He did not escape this time. The cartel's response was immediate and coordinated. Highways were blocked. Vehicles burned. Gunfire echoed in multiple states. Images circulated of panic in public spaces, including disruptions near transportation hubs. The violence underscored a critical reality. CJNG still possesses enormous operational capacity. El Mencho's fall marks the end of a chapter, but not the end of the organization he built. Experts warn that the death of a central figure often destabilizes criminal structures. Without a dominant leader, internal factions may compete for control. Territory, revenue streams, and alliances can fracture. Mexico has witnessed similar scenarios before. Power vacuums in organized crime rarely remain peaceful. Beyond the headlines, deeper questions remain. How extensive were his networks inside the United States? How did his organization maintain supply chains across continents? What relationships allowed CJNG to expand so quickly? And how did one man remain hidden for so long while commanding one of the most profitable criminal enterprises in the world? His story is not just about violence. It is about organization, secrecy, and the ability to operate in the shadows of two nations. With his death confirmed, attention now turns to succession. Will CJNG consolidate under a single successor? Or will internal competition ignite a new cycle of conflict?